This isn't going to be the typical May the 24th weekend. I'm asking you, please, don't bring a whole whack of people up. It's not the party weekend that's been in the past. Go up there, check things out, try to bring your own supplies up there.
Welcome back. That was Ontario Premier Doug Ford. The May 2-4 long weekend is a time that so many of us look forward to all year, a chance to finally get outside, to open up cottages and enjoy nature, an unofficial launch to our Canadian summer. But this year, cottage owners are being told a very different message. Stay home. How long will that order stay in place, and how are vacation communities across this country getting ready for the coming wave of cottagers? Joining me now to chat about this are two mayors from cottage country, Phil Harding, who is the mayor of beautiful Muskoka, Ontario, and Darnelda Siegers, the mayor of the spectacular Sechelt, BC. Welcome to the show, mayors. I want to dive right into it because we have a ton to talk about. Let's start with BC. What is your message to people, Mayor, who want to come out and enjoy your community at this time? Are you welcoming cottagers, or are you asking them to stay home?
The message out here in BC is to stay home, come later. We have done a great job here on the Sunshine Coast in keeping the COVID-19 pandemic virus at, a bait. So we want people to come later. We're concerned about our community.
Mayor Harding, what's your take? Same message or a different one?
It's a slightly evolved message. For the first 6-8 weeks of this pandemic has definitely been stay home, stay safe, don't travel. But what we realized is, in particular Muskoka Lakes, 80%, 85% of our residents are that of seasonal, and they want to check on their seasonal properties, of which they may not have seen in the last 6 months. So as long as they're able to do it safely and responsibly, we're encouraging people to be able to do so. But if they can stay home, I think that's the first message. But if they feel the need to come north, to do it safely and responsibly.
And Mayor Harding, when you say safely and responsibly, what are your recommendations to do that in a safe and responsible way?
Well, first of all, our food supply, our hardware stores are all operating under different protocols versus with COVID-19. So the ability to work through those lineups, getting in and out of the stores, is not business as usual. We're kind of considering business as unusual in this day. And so what we're really saying is, for this weekend or next weekend, if they happen to be coming north, to make sure that they bring supplies with them so they don't have to interact. They don't have to go out, they don't have to line up, that they can truly treat this, as opposed to a holiday weekend, as an isolation weekend to sort of prep their properties for summertime.
Mayor Siegers, I think a lot of cottagers are saying, look, I pay taxes on this cottage. What if I shop in the city and bring my groceries? Aren't we supposed to get outside and get fresh air and sunshine? Why can't I come to my cottage? What's your concern there?
Our concern is, in the Sunshine Coast and Sechelt, the 50% of our population are seniors, and we have a lot of immunocompromised residents then. So our concern is the transmission of the virus. So I would agree with Mayor Harding. If the second homeowners feel the need to come here, please restrict your access to our residents. Bring your supplies with you, and ensure that if you have to go out, you maintain all of the physical distancing measures.
I'm curious to know, in both of your communities, we've heard stories of police in some cases enforcing orders, the do not move order, do not go to your cottage. Will that be the case in either of your communities?
Not in Sechelt. Although we do have community ambassadors who are out, who will be policing up down to encourage people to continue the physical distancing.
And what about in Muskoka?
In Muskoka, yeah, thank you. In Muskoka in particular, we don't have any provincial orders to stop people from traveling. So we're not, but we are obviously using best judgment. And we are still encouraging people, if you do happen to be going into the shops, to make sure you wear a mask, wear protective equipment. Treat yourself as if you've got the virus, and how do you not spread the virus. So when you are walking down the street by somebody, as opposed to, hey, how are you? Take a step back, which seems intuitively rude, but we need to think differently. That actually is intuitively positive and respectful, to take a step aside from that person we're passing.
Are you able to deal with any kind of an influx? Have you taken any kind of measures in advance to prepare for this?
So our hospitals, we are in conversations regularly. We have 2 hospitals within the district of Muskoka. Both are prepared. We don't have anybody. We might have one person, I think, in hospital currently, or they were just discharged. And so we're ready should that happen. But from a virus spreading perspective, I think the one thing to note, people are utilizing their second homes in Ontario these days to isolate. Maybe someone in their family has a compromised immune system, so they are truly isolating at their cottage, if you will. I've used the stats. Toronto has roughly 3 million people over 600 square kilometers. Muskoka, in particular, even with our seasonal residents, probably has 120,000 people, but that's over 4,000 square kilometers. So if you really want to isolate, this is not a bad place to do it.
Well, and I think that's what a lot of people are thinking. Look, I can come up there, I can isolate, I can be away from other people. I won't be going into grocery stores. I won't be, especially in both Vancouver and Toronto, in a very concentrated downtown area with a lot of population density. I'm wondering going forward, what's going to happen in terms of when things go back to normal? Are either of you expecting that you're going to see a return to a typical summer this summer, or do you think that that's not going to happen until 2021? I'll give it to you first, Mayor Siegers.
So the issue that we have out here is to get here, you have to take a ferry. And so it's hard to physically distance on a ferry unless you stay in your vehicle. So there's a limited number of people. Sunshine, the tourism department of tourism is saying as well, visit, but later. So we don't know how that message is going to be taken by the greater population.
Okay, and for Muskoka?
What I appreciate is our tourism sector and our tourism industry, with hotels being closed, our concert venues being shut down right now, the tourism component of Muskoka this summer is going to be vastly different. There's no question. This weekend, next few weekends, things really aren't open, though they just opened yesterday, Saturday. The golf courses and marinas can now be fully open. So that's a good thing to slowly restart. But social distancing is going to be a thing I think we're all going to be living with for the next 12 months. Restaurants with maybe half capacity in bars. No longer are we walking in and hugging people in a group. We are truly standing apart.
Okay, that's all the time we have. Thank you both for joining us and sharing your community's perspectives.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and be safe.
Thanks, you too. Coming up, testing is the buzzword to reopen more communities and areas across Canada. What are the different tests? And if you've been exposed to coronavirus, are you immune? We'll find out next.